Shavua Tov, welcome to another week of this YouTube vodcast. I'm Rabbi Krebs. This week we read Parsha Ki Tetze. And towards the end of the Parsha, we find quite an interesting mitzvah. When plowing your fields, there's a Torah prohibition of plowing two different animals with one another on the same plow. For example, it specifically means an ox and a donkey. Now, why on earth is there a problem with these two animals plowing together? So the commentaries explain that what's going to happen is an ox chews the cud, which means that it swallows the grass or whatever it is that it eats, it regurgitates it, it rechews it, it swallows, it rechews, and it swallows. So it consistently is chewing in its mouth. The donkey, which is not a ruminant, it does not chew the cud. So it's going to eat what it eats, it swallows, and that's it, it's finished. It's like us, you eat and it's finished. So what's the problem? So the problem is going to happen is now you're going to get a donkey and an ox, and they're plowing together. And the donkey's working hard, and he's schlepping, and he's pulling, and he's pulling. And he looks at the ox, and the ox is eating. The ox has got food, and the ox is, it looks like he's going well. And the poor donkey is saying, like, what's with me? I'm here schlepping and trekking and pulling, and I don't get anything to eat, but the oxy's got what to eat. It's not fair. Now, interesting thing is that it's showing us a sensitivity that we have to have even to animals. Now, is the donkey right? No, the donkey's not right. The ox doesn't have any more food than the donkey has. But nevertheless, we have to have a sensitivity to the donkey that even though he's wrong, the fact that he's going to perceive that the ox has more food than him, and he's going to feel that he's being done out, he's going to feel that he's been neglected. That sensitivity we need to have to donkeys as well. And therefore, don't bind a donkey and an ox and plow together. Now, if that's true for donkeys, then all the more so it's true for people. If we're going to show sensitivity to a donkey, then surely you should show sensitivity to a friend, to a spouse, to a child. Similar to a story, we put challah, on Friday night we have a cover on the challah. So some of the people say, you know why we have a cover on the challah? Because usually when we make a bracha, in the orders of brachot, the first thing we make brachot is on the bread. We make a blessing on the bread first. And then we make on everything else. But on Friday night we make a blessing on the wine first. So why do we put a cover on the challah? So we say because the bread's going to say, hold on a second, usually on the first one that the bracha is made on. And today the wine, hey, that's not fair, what's right? Why are you neglecting me? So we put a cover on the challah so it shouldn't be embarrassed that it sees that it's been neglected. So there's a famous story of Rav Yisrael Salanta that he goes to a person's house for Shabbos. And they're sitting waiting they're about to make Kiddush, and the balabossi, he looks and he says to his wife, Chana, there's no cover on the challah, what's going on here? So quickly Chana runs and goes and puts the cover on. So Rav Yisrael says to the balabossi, he says, tell me something, why do we put a cover on the challah? He says, Rebbe, it's a very spiritual idea. We usually make a bracha first on bread, but tonight because we're making a blessing first on the wine, we don't want to embarrass the bread. So Rav Yisrael says, bread you don't want to embarrass, but your wife you're prepared to humiliate. The only reason we cover the bread is to teach us that if we're sensitive to a piece of bread, how much more so we need to be sensitive to people. And if we're sensitive to donkeys, we're sensitive to animals, then you have to be sensitive to people. Hope that message gets you through the week. Hope you have a fantastic week. Look forward to seeing you next week. Shavua Tov.